Hi, my name is Mary Green and welcome to my YouTube channel, You the Entrepreneur. You the Entrepreneur is about you becoming the person that God has called you to be. It is about you taking the initiative to become who and to walk into the places and the desired places that you have dreamed about, thought about, and desired about by taking the responsibility and being accountable for your actions, your decisions, and your choices. So on You the Entrepreneur, we help you to rediscover who you are by using the same key concepts and plans that it is used to create a business plan. Today we are discussing company description. Having the benefit of a company description is you are able to tell someone else what your business is about, who you're going to be serving, what you're going to be doing, and how it's going to benefit the environment and your community. So I know you're wondering, how is that going to help me figure out me? How is that going to help me rediscover me? I'm glad you asked. So when we use the same key concepts that it takes to create a business plan, we have to transform them into applying them to our life. So that is what I'm here for. Having the company description and using it to apply in your personal life is the same thing as self-exploration. When you are exploring who you are, it is taking a look at your own feelings, thoughts, behaviors, what motivates you, what discourages you, what frustrates you. It is getting to know who you are. It is getting to know why you do what you do. It is your own experience of life. Each individual have their own personal experience that they have gone through in life according to their own feelings, their own thoughts, their own behaviors, their own motivations, their own belief systems, their own standards, their own workplaces, their own relationships. So this is about your company description. So with You the Entrepreneur, each week we discuss key things that we journal about each week to help us to arrive at the set destination. And so with doing so, again, we're talking about the company description and the company description of you. You are a company. You are worthy. You are full of services, gifts, talents, weaknesses, and strengths that you have been created to present to the world in order to draw a target market of consumers. And so, as in the previous two videos, we discussed how that is creating that executive summary. If you haven't seen it, go watch my YouTube channel. Go watch that video and go back and see how we started out creating the executive summary and its importance. And so, like I said, this is just exploring who you are as a person, getting down to the root of who we are and searching for the answers. Because who we are today may not be who we are tomorrow. Who we are today may not be who we were yesterday. And so learning how to write these things down and acknowledge them and rediscovering them, taking time out for yourself and just saying, I want to get to know me. I want to learn why I do these things. I want to know, why do I think this way? I want to know why I shop this way, or why I spend my money this way, or why I don't spend my money this way, why I went to school, why I did not go to school, why do I work here. It's everything that it took to create who you are is about creating your company description. This can be one of the toughest tasks possible because it's getting down to the root of why you do what you do and why you are who you are. So again, take into consideration those thoughts, those feelings, those behaviors, that habit that you've been doing for so long, or that habit that you just accepted because you haven't seen anything different, or you haven't experienced anything different, or even you say because my mama did it, my daddy did it. Those old ways, those old habits, those old belief systems that we were given, that we said, or that we were told these are how and why you should do the things that you do. So this is a time to where you're being open, because the truth about the matter is the reason why we are where we are is because of our mindsets. And so we have to be willing to change our mindsets in order to change our financing. We have to be willing to change our mindset in order to change our career path. We have to be willing to change our mindset in order to get married or to be single. We have to change our mindset in order to explore different avenues of life, even to travel. Because if you have not been adapted in your mind that traveling outside of the country is something that you can do, then you won't ever do it. If you haven't adapted in your mind the fact that you are able to retire early at 40 and not have to wait until 60 and 70, you'll never do it. And so these are things that we're helping to explore and get to the root of why we are who we are. So again, this week is talking about your company description. Again, my name is Mary Green, certified life coach that uses key business plan concepts, strategies, whatever it takes in order for you to get to the place and where God desires you to be. So this week, we're going to focus on write down who you are right now and who you were in the past. Get you a journal page or get you a journal and make 2 lines and have 3 columns. In one column, you're going to write the past you. In the middle column, you're going to write the present you. And in the last column, you're going to write the future you. Write down exactly what it is that you plan on doing or being, or write down what you want the future you to look like. And that way you'll be able to know how to scale it. So again, the task is write down the past you, write down the present you, and write down the future you. Get to know you. Get to know why you do what you do. Why you go where you go, why you say what you say, why you think the way that you do, why you feel the way that you feel. In order to do that, you must take time out for you. And that's important. You have to learn to appreciate who you are before anyone else can appreciate and love who you are. And I know for me, that was hard to do. I wanted someone to appreciate who I am. And what happened is I allowed them to be able to determine my worth. When they did not deem me worthy enough, I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to be treated fairly, to be loved, to be appreciated, to be valued, to be spoken to any kind of way, to not be mishandled physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But now that I have taken the time out with God to be able to rediscover the woman and the child of God that He called me to be, I know how to present myself. And when I am presented to others and they present themselves to me, I can know that that may not be for me. I can know that, hey, and it's really vice versa. It doesn't really matter or says that one is better than the other. I just know that we're not going to mesh well. I just know that where they're headed in life, I may not want to go. And I just know where I'm headed in life, they might not want to go. It does not mean that we will never meet at the end. It just means that as of right now, in the path in which we're taking, we wouldn't be able to benefit or serve each other in that capacity. Because again, remember, we are talking about being the business of us and how we are here to serve others. And we have to make sure that we are serving people what they're needing at that time and not what we want to give them at that time. Even though you may know that you are able or you are in a capacity to know how to serve, you have to, or that you have what it takes to serve, you have to also know how to serve. So again, with creating a company description, we're just talking about exploration. Sorry about that. So we want to take our own thoughts, feelings, behavior, what motivates us, and we want to ask that question of why. That hard question of why do we do what we do? Why do we go where we go? Why do we seek out the things that we seek out? Why do we think the way that we do? All of that matters in your relationships. All of that matters in your relationship with God. All of that matters in your relationship with your spouse. All of that matters in your relationship with your sisters, your brothers, and your coworkers. So this is important. So I just wanted to encourage you all today that you are important, you are worthy, and get to know you and get to the root of why you do what you do, because at some point you may have to pull out the root. And you have to be okay with that. And that might be a hard task, because once you pull out the root, it's going to change the way you think. And there are some people who are not going to want to pull out that root because they're comfortable with staying in that type of soil. They're comfortable, and they've grown in a place, even though they may not have grown to the place that where you want to go, they feel like they've grown into a place of their comfortability. But if you're in a position to where you want to pull out the root, then you have to also be willing to know how to walk away. You have to be willing and take enough courage to say, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to live that same lifestyle. And you have to be brave enough to take the risk in order to become you. Because if you don't, people aren't typically always in a position to push you into becoming who you are and not who they want you to be. So becoming you can be risky. And I only say it can be risky, but there also is a reward. And the risk is leaving your past behind. Stop bringing up all the old stuff. Learning how to forgive. Learning how to to loosen, bad habits, or learning how to grow and learning how to know who you are to go into the direction in which you're being called and pulled toward. And I know sometimes you can feel like you're wanting to be pulled, or you're actually being pulled in a direction, but your mind is not allowing you to go into that direction, or your feelings or your thoughts about the situation isn't allowing you to go into that direction because you refuse to let go or to uproot everything that is hindering you from going into that direction. So it is important for you to get to know who you are, explore you. That self-exploration, you got to get to know you. You got to get to know why I think the way I think, why I feel the way I feel. Why do I respond and behave the way that I behave? What motivates me? What discourages me? What frustrates me? All of these things are important. Because also one of the things about it is you can know and learn what your triggers are. If you can learn what your triggers are, then you'll know how to defeat the enemy on that end. You'll know when something is coming your way, how you should respond to it, or how not to respond to it. It's extremely important for you to get to know you. Write down the company description. Again, this is the company description of your life. Don't add anybody else. Only speak to who you are called to speak to. Only know who you are called to encourage and to motivate. And sometimes you might just have to pray for them. But if you feel some kind of way, if you think some kind of way, if you behave some kind of way, then you're not going to operate in the direction that God is calling you to, because you're thinking too much about it. You're feeling too much about it. Your purpose is an emotionless walk. If you have too much emotion in your purpose walk, you will begin to become stagnant, procrastinate, and not do the things in which God has called you to do, because you'll take too much time to decipher the feelings and the thought process. So I wanted to encourage you to write the company description, get to know you. Again, create that 3-column system. The 3-column system is the past you, the present you, the today you, and the future you. So that you can scale it, so that you can know, okay, when I'm presenting and God is presenting me before others and others are being presented to me, I can know, okay, is this the direction of my past, my present, or my future? I need to know where to put you. And vice versa. I need to know where to put myself in your life. Am I a part of your past? Am I a part of your present? And am I a part of your future? So take this time today to rediscover you and explore you. And again, it's okay. Whatever you uncover is because it's important. And whatever is not supposed to be there, uproot it. Uproot it. Uproot it and allow another seed to be planted there in place of